So when talking about abundance, one of the things you have to ask yourself is, what do you want? What do you want in your life? What do you want to experience? And a lot of people, when I ask them that question, they don't know how to answer that question. And it gets really hard for them to figure out what they do want. One of the reason is they they think in terms of results. So they're basically looking at the bank account and saying, well, I can't afford to do this or I can't go on that experience. And they're basing it on the income that they see that they have coming in. And so they have to make decisions kind of in this little box. So if you're, for example, you're a 5,000 a month earner and your bills cost like 4,700 a month, you're seeing I only have $300 a month extra and I can't really go on the trip to France with that little bit of money. And so they think of in terms of this little box they're in. But what I challenge you to do when we're thinking about abundance is just dream as if anything were possible, as if you had unlimited amounts of money, as if people were not an issue, any place you want to go. Really start dreaming about what it is that you want to have, and don't think of your results, don't think of how much you have in the bank account, don't think about how you're going to save up for this money. The universe and the way this abundance things works is it don't care how it makes it happen. So don't think about the how, think about the why, and think about the what, and even think about the when do you want this experience, or when do you want this item, or when do you want this abundance to come, and why do you want it, how would it change your life, and how would it be a benefit to other people. uh, Another thing is where do you want to go, is it a trip you want to do, but never think about the how, like how it's going to happen. Just get a really clear crystal idea of what it is that you want. And another way to do this is a lot of people have been programmed to think very negative. And if that's you, where you have a challenge of thinking good and all the good that could come into your life, this is that change of shifting of thinking already, right? So you can make a list, get a piece of paper on one side, write all the things you want to stop happening in your life. For example, um, I don't want to struggle to pay bills. Just say that. I don't want to struggle to pay bills, and make a list of all the things you don't want. I don't want to carry around this belly fat anymore. I don't want to be in a job that I don't enjoy. And then when you have all your don't wants, now, on the side of your wants, write the exact opposite of that. The exact opposite of that. So if you're like, I hate looking at my bank account and having no money, to write, I love looking at my bank account and seeing extreme amounts of abundance, right? So that's another way to figure out what you want. Is if you're kind of programmed a little bit to think a little negative and you don't really know what you want, start writing a list of what you don't want, and start writing the list of what is the opposite of that. What is the opposite of belly fat, having a very healthy looking body that I love looking at in the mirror every day. So now you get a crystal clear thing of what you do want in your life. Another thing that's really important is to write this down, write it down in a journal, and to look over it every day, and to start visualizing what it is that you want. Visualize that car you want to drive in, visualize that trip you want to take, visualize that item that you want, that relationship that you want, and write it down. And this is like one of the first things to abundance, is knowing what it is that you want. Write it down and start visualizing that. In the Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Waddles, he talks about this invisible stuff that is thinking stuff that permeates and penetrates the interspaces of the universe. It's in all things and everywhere. And a thought impressed upon this invisible stuff causes the invisible stuff to form the thing that you want, or it aligns the people to make what it is that you want happen. And I've seen this time and time again in my life, where I think about the things that I want and I start manifesting it in my life. And so that's the first thing, is to figure out, what is it do you want. Ask that question in your mind often. What do I want? What do I want to experience? If I could have anything in the world, what is it do you want?